Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. A fire outside a convenience store in Sudbury now being treated as arson.
Our crews arrived and found that the shed was indeed on fire.
Investigators are looking to the public for help in finding the person responsible, plus honoring a trio of heroes for their service to our country.
We appreciate any recognition that we get from the public.
3 are honored with prestigious quilts of valor. And the new owner of Sudbury's historic Bell Mansion has taken possession.
A heritage-designated building with some structural issues is a little bit more complicated than your regular building that might require some work.
In a statement, they say they're committed to preserving the property's legacy.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. We begin tonight in Sudbury, where a fire in a shed next to a convenience store is being investigated as arson. CTV's Lindsay Alex starts us off.
Fire crews were called to Legacy Convenience on Saturday at around 1:30 p.m.
Our crews arrived and found that the shed was indeed on fire, and that fire was potentially spreading to the exterior of the convenience store. Our crews were able to get the fire out. However, the shed was a complete loss. The damage to the exterior of the convenience store was moderate, and there was some slight smoke and water damage in the building.
I'm feeling grateful, actually. I feel love from my neighbors who provided us the jackets and everything we need.
Singh is one of 4 owners who just took over the store 10 days ago.
We've been already talking with the insurance and everything. They're going to cover that. And the interior is fine, so we're open right now.
Police were dispatched to assist with traffic control, but through investigation, it was determined to be a suspected arson.
Shortly before the fire started, an individual was seen behind the building, and then when the person came out from behind the building, the fire started moments later. So through video surveillance footage, officers have been able to obtain an image of the individual.
Dunn says this is the person of interest. If anyone has any information about who this is or where they are, contact police. Officers continue to canvass the area for more information and video surveillance. According to fire services, it's estimated that the damage is valued at $150,000. Lindsay Alex, CTV News, Sudbury.
Some teens were able to escape a burning home early Saturday morning in North Bay's Airport Hill area. At just after 5 a.m., crews from all 3 stations were dispatched to 75 Janey Avenue. They were met with flames in the roof and at the back of the home. All 7 teens were able to safely evacuate after being alerted to the danger by smoke alarms. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Provincial police are urging parents in the Mattawa area to carefully inspect their children's Halloween candy following a report of a suspicious substance they believe was found in a bag of chips. Police say on Saturday a family in the Chenier Road area of Papineau-Cameron Township reported finding a bag of chips that appeared to have been cut open and resealed. Officers conducted a preliminary test and found suspected morphine. Police say there are no additional reports of similar incidents. 3 people in the greater Sudbury community of Valcarin have been charged with weapons trafficking after a complaint yesterday morning. The weapons complaint led police to a residence on Municipal Road 80. 3 individuals fled the area as police arrived. 2 were arrested immediately, while the 3rd ran off into the bush. Police brought in the K9 unit, and the 3rd person was found at a home on Percy Avenue. 2 men and a woman are now facing several weapons and weapons trafficking related charges. A new initiative aimed at increasing public safety is now underway in Sault Ste. Marie. Residents should prepare to smile if they're at one of the 28 locations that will now have CCTV cameras monitoring 24/7. CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports.
30 closed-circuit television cameras are now up and running at 28 intersections in the Soo. It's an initiative 2 years in the making that has seen equal $150,000 investments from the province and the police force.
The evidence shows that in communities where it's used, it helps a lot, and so we don't know, how much it's going to help in the Soo, but I suspect that we will be in line with how other communities have benefited benefited from this type of system.
The locations for the CCTV cameras was chosen based off data both from crime statistics and historic calls for service.
We have cameras obviously in the area of rest homes and retirement facilities. So if we get a person, Alzheimer patient or something like that wanders away, it can give us a direction of travel, which can focus our resources on that.
Hopefully this system will allow us to get onto that information a lot quicker and give us a quicker starting point for some of the investigations we're doing. Crime accidents, traffic accidents obviously would be a prime example of that. You have an accident, Great Northern and Second Line, we have cameras set up at that location. You'd be able to pull the video up and see who ran the red light or if there's any other vehicles involved, that type of thing.
A list of the camera locations can be found on the police services website, and each intersection with one will be marked. Police officials say they are waiting on contractors to get the next round of these cameras installed.
We have already made the purchase of those cameras. I think there's 15 additional cameras. Some of those cameras have multi-lenses, so you can put them in an intersection, cover kind of two directions.
Duguay says he hopes the rest of the cameras will be installed within the next 6 months. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
A Sudbury man is facing charges after a collision in Sault Ste. Marie. According to police, officers witnessed the crash at the intersection of Cathcart and Huron Streets around 9:30 Thursday night. The driver drove through a stop sign, striking another vehicle, and then fled the scene on foot with their passengers. The two people in the vehicle that was struck were taken to hospital, one with life-threatening injuries. Those who fled the scene were arrested, with the 20-year-old driver facing 14 charges, including theft of a motor vehicle. North Bay police are trying to track down a dangerous driver from Friday morning. Police say the driver of this 2025 gray Volkswagen Jetta was observed traveling at a high rate of speed through St. Joseph Schollard Hall's back parking lot before turning left onto McLeod Street, nearly hitting 3 students and a pole before leaving the scene. Police add incidents like this highlight the importance of community safety zones, and they continue to urge drivers to exercise extreme caution in the areas.
The actions of that driver put 3 lives at risk. We nearly had a fatal accident. We're hoping that people that were in the area the morning of Halloween, if they have dash cam video, anybody with video that lives in the area that might be able to assist us identify this vehicle would be much appreciated.
Anyone with information about the driver or vehicle is being asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. The city of Greater Sudbury is funding a 24/7 warming center at Energy Court this fall and winter, and it's open right now. That story from CTV's Alana Everson.
This trailer is now open 24/7, operating as a warming center. It closes for 2 intervals of cleaning and restocking, coinciding with mealtimes at the Samaritan Center.
We're offering coffee and snacks. We're offering washroom access. We do host wound care clinics as well as storage for individuals accessing the facility, and that's being offered around the clock.
Bins are provided to people to secure their belongings while inside.
That does come into the center is encouraged to place their belongings in tote bins, which are labeled and put away. This just ensures that we have less clutter in the main space, as well as safety and reduce the possibility of theft of items.
The barrier-free washroom has a foot wash station for individuals to use. Harm reduction supplies are available, but there is a no substance use policy inside the warming center. There are always 2 security guards on site. The city says there are currently 250 people living in encampments across 60 locations.
There's no intention to move everyone living in an encampment into Energy Court encampment. The warming center opened up at Energy Court by Go Give is available to anyone experiencing homelessness in our community. Last year, the Energy Court was able to support an average of 160 people per night.
The Go Give project says client navigators with the city and staff with the homelessness network come by the center on a regular basis to connect with clients. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A special ceremony in Sudbury recently offered a heartfelt salute to a trio of heroes. 3 veterans were recognized for their service and sacrifice as they received a prestigious honor, the Quilt of Valor. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
The Legion was filled with emotion as 3 veterans, Rick Smith, James Simpson, and John McNeil, were individually draped with a quilt of valor. Simpson, a retired master warrant officer, dedicated 33 years of service to the Canadian Armed Forces. For him, the recognition is about more than just himself.
We appreciate any recognition that we get from the public, not only for ourselves, but for the ones who have gone and the ones that are suffering. The Afghan veterans, especially now, come back torn and hurt and have a big struggle to get back into society. So that's how I feel. I feel very proud to accept this on behalf not only of myself, but of the other veterans.
Quilts of Valor is a non-profit agency that began in Alberta in 2006 as a civilian expression of gratitude for those who have been wounded or ill or who suffer from operational stress injuries as a result of their service. The handmade quilts are crafted by volunteers across the country and are given to veterans nominated for the honor.
Some of our veterans will put them up on the wall and nobody can touch them. Others will use them every day. And so I had one veteran who told me that anytime he's feeling really badly, he wraps himself in his quilt and it makes him feel well enough to keep going.
They gave up their time and, had injuries and just to be recognized and honor them.
The program is about more than just a blanket. It's a tangible way of saying thank you for a veteran's sacrifice, wrapping them in warmth and respect. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
After more than 640 fires and nearly 600,000 hectares burned, Ontario's 2025 wildland fire season is officially over. Officials say coordination between crews, municipalities, and Indigenous communities helped protect lives and property. Looking ahead to the next wildland fire season beginning in April, the province is planning to add 68 permanent firefighting and support staff, in addition to spending over $500 million on 6 new water bombers. Well, time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, let's take a look at where things currently stand. That is the radar at the moment. The reason I've got that up at the moment is we just had a weather statement in effect in around the Parry Sound area. That just dropped a short time ago, but they were talking about heavy winds moving through the area. It looks pretty good until we see some rain moving through the area on Wednesday, and then that should move itself out. There are the current conditions. We're going to go to a break. We'll be right back.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, a new week and, of course, a new month of all kinds of weather. We like to call it one-off weather all this week. A little bit of sun, a little bit of rain, a little bit of sleet, some sun and cloud and more. Have a look. This is our forecast radar system clearing up in some sectors for tomorrow. We'll see some sunshine, then more precipitation by about Wednesday, and the trend will continue over the course of the next 7 days. Meanwhile, Sudbury, Nickel Belt, your temperature and your current conditions all coming up momentarily. But first, we've got some sun and cloud and 8 degrees for tomorrow. Wednesday, here we go. Chance of rain. Thursday, sunshine. Friday, chance of showers. Saturday, sun and cloud. Chance of sleet on Sunday. And take a look at the temperatures right now, going from 8 to 0 to -2 in a week's time. Actually, at this time of the year, you should be sitting at around +5. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, mainly sunny tomorrow. Chance of rain on Wednesday. Thursday, sun and cloud. Chance of sleet on Friday. Then Saturday, we've got cloud cover. Chance of sleet on Sunday again. And the big drop in temperature going all the way from 10 to 1 degree. Normally, you should be sitting at around 6. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Chance of sleet for a couple of days at 7 and 4. 1 on Thursday with the sunshine. Chance of flurries on Friday. Some sun and clouds Saturday at -3. Then comes Sunday, you've got the chance of flurries, a -11 overnight. Next Monday, you've got some cloud and -4 your daytime high. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, mainly sunny tomorrow at 8. Chance of showers Wednesday, Thursday sunshine, Friday chance of flurries at 60%. Saturday some sun and clouds. Sunday the chance of flurries again and cloud cover Monday. Those temperatures dropping. Here we go. We go from 0 to -9, -6, -9 once again, some overnight lows. So cooling down in the month of November. North Bay, West Nipissing, sun and cloud tomorrow. Wednesday, chance of rain at 60%. Thursday, we've got sunshine, chance of showers on Friday. Saturday, some sun and cloud. And Sunday, the chance of sleet at 30%, only +1. And again, those temperatures seeing a big drop going from +9 to 0, then to only +1. So again, it's that time of year, Ian Campbell. Change of temperatures, changing conditions, and a lot more to come in the next week. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Rick. Well, the new owner of a historic property in Sudbury took possession over the weekend. CTV's Angela Gemmell has more on what's in store for Bell Mansion.
After 57 years, Bellrock has a new owner. Sudbury-based Devla Properties bought the 8,000 square foot building and 2.1 acres of land. No one was available for an interview, but a statement in part says, "Our team is deeply committed to the preservation and respectful restoration of this landmark." While the developer's plans are in the preliminary stages, officials say maintaining the Bellrock Mansion's integrity, ensuring that its story continues to stand proudly within our city's historic landscape, is part of their vision. Previously owned by Laurentian University, in a news release, the school says it sold the property for $1.25 million. LU's president saying in a statement, "Our hope was to be able to transfer this property to someone who can carry forward the legacy of the Bell Mansion, engage with local cultural and community groups, and honor the history of this important Sudbury landmark. We are pleased to have realized this with the new owner." Proceeds will be used to support the ongoing renewal of the school's facilities. The building has structural issues.
A heritage designated building with some structural issues is a little bit more complicated than your regular building that might require some work. So I do believe everybody was informed, and some people felt they could take that on, and others felt it was just too much.
Built in 1907 by William and Catherine Bell, the Bellrock property is a historical site designated under the Ontario Heritage Act. That means the new owner must get written consent from the municipality for any changes. The city had previously said it would uphold the status of Bell Mansion as a historical site. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Doug Ford's anti-tariff ad continues to be the talk of Queen's Park. Today, the Premier saying he would never apologize regardless of who already has. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the latest.
Trade barriers hurt every American worker.
A week after it was pulled from U.S. TV networks, there's bigger bluster from the Premier defending his anti-tariff ad featuring the voice of former President Ronald Reagan.
There's never been an ad in the history of this world that has seen 12.4 billion views.
On Friday, the Prime Minister revealed he hadn't wanted the ad to run at all.
Did you inform Mr. Ford that this is something that you did not want to go forward with?
Yes.
Doug Ford doesn't want to fall into what he calls a bear trap of explaining who said what.
I had a different recollection of our conversation.
Sharing that Mark Carney did keep up the pressure.
He called me from Asia a couple times and said, pull the ad.
Not relenting until after trade talks with the U.S. abruptly stopped.
No deal's better than a bad deal. And that's what President Trump wants.
While Ford is unrepentant.
I did apologize to the president. President was offended by the act, or by the ad, rather.
Ford calls the "I'm sorry" the Prime Minister's prerogative, but it's not something you'd catch him doing.
I'll never apologize to Donald Trump, ever. They put me on a stretching rack, I wouldn't apologize.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 46.
Ford credits the ad with reviving debate on tariffs in the U.S. Senate.
Donald Trump has stopped the discussions because a TV ad hurt his feelings.
4 Republicans jumped over and voted against tariffs on Canada.
But those are Republicans who'd already spoken out against tariffs before the ad was on television.
It didn't sway any votes in the Senate. Right? It wasn't the greatest ad in human history. It was an unforced error.
I wish the Premier would spend as much time developing a jobs plan for Ontario as he is looking at the number of views on his ad.
Worried about communities like Ingersoll, where GM is ending production of an electric delivery van because of low demand.
I want to tell you what one of the members said to me. He said, this ego clash is killing us.
Despite all the back and forth over the ad, the Premier insists his relationship with the Prime Minister is still strong, and he believes Mark Carney is doing his best to reach a trade deal for Canada. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Meanwhile, the provincial ban on speed cameras has now become law. The bill, which passed through the legislature last week, received royal assent today. However, tickets will still be issued until November 14th. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A special treat for the residents of the Cochrane polar bear habitat just in time for Polar Bear Week. The Rotary Club of Sudbury Sunriser's most recent fundraiser was a big hit. The Vive le Vin event took place this weekend. Wine and cheese were in abundance, and so was generosity. The event raised more than $40,000, which will help the Sunrisers invest in Rotary Park, Rotary Youth Initiatives, and community charities. A Sudbury artist began a challenge to push her creativity and talent further every day for an entire year. CTV's Madison Marier lays down the brushstrokes on the story.
Carmen Martorella has painted a masterpiece every single day for a year, and she only has a few days left before completing her journey.
Painting is my passion, and I just want to improve and become a better artist. So what better way to do that is to paint daily as a professional artist.
Martorella said that some of her pieces were harder than others, but her dedication has paid off with the Sudbury Food Bank.
I had entered the draw for quite a few years now, and I was never selected. So this year they selected 2 of my paintings in the draw for the Christmas card campaign. So all of the proceeds from those cards will go to the food bank.
When you purchase the card for them, we then purchase a meal for a person who's less fortunate, a holiday meal for them through the Christmas season. It's we've done it for years. It's one of our most successful campaigns ever. The public loves it, the sponsors love it, the artists love it, and heck, we love it. So it's fantastic.
While having 2 of her pieces selected for the around 40 submissions the food bank received this year, the fact that she will finish 365 paintings in just a few days is a big win.
I had fun doing that. Some days it was not so fun. It was like, oh, I got to get through this day. But you know what, you have to persevere. When you have a goal, persevere, get it done.
The Sudbury Food Bank will be showing off this year's card selections at the Art of Dessert on November 6th. And Martorella will be showing off her 365 days of painting at her gallery on November 15th, proving perseverance pays off. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
The first week of November is Polar Bear Week, and the Cochrane Polar Bear Habitat is celebrating in a big way. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
At this time of year, Henry and Ganuk at the Cochrane Polar Bear Habitat get a hankering for pumpkin.
So pumpkin is actually kind of an empty food for them. It tastes really good, but it does just go directly through their digestive systems. It doesn't really do anything for them. There's going to be a lot of pumpkin poop for us to pick up in the coming days.
80 Creek Gardens personally delivered the giant award-winning squash from the Port Elgin Pumpkin Fest to the habitat. It otherwise would have been composted.
It's actually my buddy's pumpkin. I left mine behind and brought his home because mine had a little soft spot, so it wasn't going to last a whole long time. So it's Atlantic Giant Pumpkin, and it's 1,481 pounds.
Officials say the bears thoroughly enjoyed the pumpkin once they realized it was food.
Henry actually came out and didn't know what it was, and got actually quite defensive toward it. He started showing some defensive behaviors because I think he was just quite shocked at this new thing in his enclosure. But once he was able to investigate it, and he realized that it was nothing to be afraid of.
We probably watched him for 45 minutes, just chewing at it, pulling at it. Then she gave me a tour of a bit of the other stuff they do while we were there. So my daughter was with me. It was pretty fun to watch. I'd never seen that before.
The pumpkin party happens Sunday as a way to celebrate Polar Bear Week, which coincides with the migration and congregation of polar bears on the Hudson Bay coast. Baxendale Young says it's a good time to talk about the creatures and how to protect them.
Unfortunately, it's too soon to say that we've seen positive changes just yet. Climate does go up and down every year. Some years we have good winters, some years we have bad winters.
The Cochrane Polar Bear Habitat is hosting more events throughout the week, including a virtual art lesson and $2 visits on Saturday. These events round out the busy summer tourist season as the Habitat gets ready for snowmobiling season. Habitat officials say they've been putting a lot of effort into marketing the Habitat, including the installation of 2 new highway signs and keeping up with its social media platforms. The threat of closure, they say, is a thing of the past. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
1,480 pounds. That should keep Henry busy. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.